World Patriots. It is Friday, July 12th, 2019. And technically, guys, it's about 12:30, so it just passed over the 11th. Just did the Thursday podcast. I apologize to anybody who came to my channel. We had an audio issue, and I don't believe that it was YouTube. I believe it was set up on my end, so I apologize for that. We kept putting the link to have everybody go over to the dual stream on Patriot News. Rest assured, guys, we'll have that ironed out by next Thursday, where we'll have a lot more great information coming to you. So starting off, we did this post last night, 3414, at 12:25 a.m. Got to sleep about 3 in the morning. That was fun this morning at work, but in any event, here's where we're starting today. At post 3415, we have a link. Let's take a look at that. And Q says, PP in the kill box, Planned Parenthood news. More coming. Q. All right, lifenews.com. Court rules President Trump can defund Planned Parenthood. Will cut almost $60 million in taxpayer funding. Oh, yes, we don't need to be paying these people. A federal appeals court today ruled President Donald Trump can partially defund Planned Parenthood while the abortion business lawsuit against his administration's new rules move forward. As Life News reported in March, the Trump administration finalized an administrative rule that would partially defund the Planned Parenthood abortion business and deprive it of as much as $60 million in taxpayer dollars. This action adds to President Trump's record of defunding the Planned Parenthood abortion company. The abortion chain receives about 50 to 60 million in Title X funds annually, but that could change now that the new rules are being implemented. The administration's changes to Title X family planning grants have angered the abortion chain Planned Parenthood, prompting a lawsuit, but they provide hope for life-affirming pregnancy centers, which can now compete with the abortion giant for the federal funds. Title X funds are supposed to be used to help low-income women and men receive birth control, cancer screenings, and other health care services. While the tax money cannot be used to pay for abortions, it indirectly funds Planned Parenthood's vast abortion business. Last month, a 3-judge panel from the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals granted the Trump administration's request to lift national injunctions ordered by lower federal courts in Oregon and Washington state, as well as a statewide injunction in California. Who would have thought those states, right? The panel said the Trump administration will likely prevail in the legal battle over the Title X family planning program, since similar Reagan-era rules were upheld by the Supreme Court almost 30 years ago. That is absolutely awesome, guys. We don't need to be funding these people who are, by the way, making a lot of money off of selling pieces and body parts off of these aborted fetuses. Thank you, but no thank you. All right, 3416. This is an anonymous person had put this post, and if you see that number there, 700-3060, is way of Q putting this post in. So he puts that number, which is the number of this post by the Anon, and there's no other commentary. It's just basically Q's way of saying, here, look at this, I agree with this. All right, so he says, I think the war room and links to Q proofs and tools are essential components of the bread. They are up there to help Anons and new lurkers to Q research. And guys, as I'm reading over this, I'm gonna overlay a video of Q research and what they're talking about the war room. When you go to Q research, at the very top of the page, or somewhat towards the top of the page, pretty much towards the top, you have this consolidated area which gives you breakdowns of different areas and different topics, the latest Q drops. It's really an essential area, and it's very much needed. If you cut that out of the bread, you are cutting out the heart of Q research. That war room bread post will be essential to new eyes coming to the boards. The shill attack bakers all the time and the bread, and they have since the beginning. As a longtime Anon, I don't think it's a wise choice. Also, CAPTCHA did not stop any shills. It just made things more difficult for all of us. Like when you're trying to post something important fast and you get stuck in a CAPTCHA hell for a minute or two. As board owner, you should discuss these decisions with Anons, bakers, and BVs before you go. One person decides to change the way the bread has been since November 2017. I strongly disagree with shortening the bread and killing the war room, research links post. Couldn't agree more, guys. It's an essential part of Q research. And guys, if you notice, it was talking about the war room, right? Well, just as we were finishing the podcast, Bree had texted this over to me, and great find, Bree, like really quickly. President Donald Trump, this is within like the same half hour too, guys, of Q dropping. Donald J. Trump retweeted Brad Parscale's tweet that says, or his retweet of the Trump war room. And the message there isn't pertinent to this Q proof, what I'm calling a Q proof that Bree found. You got Q on the board talking about the war room and how it needs to stay. And then you have President Donald Trump retweeting a retweet of the war room. Sounds like a Q proof to me. Oh, very interesting, juicy stuff here, guys. Post 3417. What do we have? We have a link, Sheep No More. 1368, Allison Mack NXIVM and New York Attorney General Schneiderman connection. Allison Mack NXIVM, arrested date. When does a bird sing? Schneiderman resigns, date. Now, Allison Mack got arrested, and it was shortly thereafter the Attorney General of New York, Eric Schneiderman, had resigned. Coincidence? ? Oh no. Eyes wide open. Who will be next? Watch New York City. Watch California. Q. Remember, these are old posts. This one's 1203 from April 20th, 2018. Mack, as in Allison Mack, is naming names. Big names in Hollywood. Government, local, and federal. Proof. The Standard Hotel. All right, and then today we have a Twitter status. Let's take a look at that quick. All right, Kim Sachs on Twitter says, tonight on Ingram Angle, interview with Alan Dershowitz, he says he was introduced to Epstein by LDR, Lynn de Rothschild. Well, he was introduced to Epstein by Lynn de Rothschild. How quaint. All right, Q continues on. How does Lynn de Rothschild's connect to the Bronfmans? Find the bridge. Think company. Well, the Bronfmans are the Seagram's heirs, right? Edgar Bronfman Sr. is the patriarch, and he ran basically the Seagram's fortune, or Seagram's Corporation, which was worth billions. I believe it's his daughter, Claire Bronfman, was guilty or pled guilty in this NXIVM case. How is Bronfman connected to NXIVM? So think company. Are they connected through the Seagram's company, perhaps? How is Bronfman connected to NXIVM? Go backwards. NXIVM over to who pleaded guilty. Then there's a New York Times link, guys, and it has that stupid paywall, but the story says Claire Bronfman and one other pled guilty, and that was Allison Mack. So who pleaded guilty? Allison Mack, ? When does a bird sing? We have a bunch of arrows facing inward. Watch New York City. News unlocks. 5x5 ? For anybody new, 5x5 means loud and clear. Q. Oh, so he told us a while ago, watch New York City. We're watching New York City now. And boom, big arrest, Jeffrey Epstein. We have the NXIVM cult. They pled guilty, Allison Mack and Claire Bronfman. And we know that Keith Rainier was found guilty because he took it to trial and lost. All right, the next one, 3418. Within that, we have all the same last post that we just had right there, the same links. And then on top of that, Q says, what city was Epstein arrested in? New York City, right? NYC, ? 5x5, ? Loud and clear. Watch California. Q. Ooh. Well, we know from last night's video, I believe it was, or the night before, with Ed Buck, highly connected Democratic donor, by all accounts has a lot of money, enough to be flying people out from different states to inevitably have them OD in his house. 2 people in the last 2 years died in his house. One of them was a, quote, accidental overdose of meth, crystal meth. Something doesn't add up there, right? All right, 3419. We simply have a NBC New York link. Signed Q. All I wanna do is I wanna pee pee. Oh, sorry guys. R. Kelly arrested on federal sex trafficking charges. Law enforcement officials. Posted 2 hours ago. Singer R. Kelly was arrested Thursday night in Chicago by New York Police Department detectives and Homeland Security. Whoa. So guys, back at my house here. Didn't want to wake up my son and my wife, so I'm out in the car, and you might have heard the downpour out of the blue here. I know a lot of you guys say you actually like the sound of rain. I don't know if you're going to like this torrential downpour. Singer R. Kelly has been arrested in Chicago on federal sex crime charges, according to 2 law enforcement officials. The 52-year-old was arrested. Homeland Security investigation agents and NYPD detectives Thursday night on sex trafficking charges, officials tell News 4, and it is expected he will be brought to New York. Further details on the case are expected to be announced Friday. Spokespeople from the NYPD and Homeland Security investigations declined to comment on the arrest. Calls to the U.S. Attorney in Brooklyn were not immediately returned. Oh yes, remember he was yelling, "They're setting me up! Man, they're killing me!" Well, when you've been alleged to have had sex with underage girls pretty much all of your adult life, it leaves a lot of question marks there, buddy. Alright guys, and this is the last one of the night. It came in just after midnight, 38 seconds past the midnight hour. Within it we have a post 3414 from yesterday. Only anons can fully appreciate the continued validations, confirmations through covert series of mathematically impossible coincidences means in order to maintain structural integrity. Wheels up. Then we have a Twitter status. Q says to the Twitter status, "Now what are the odds of that?" Q, let's take a look. Alright, on Twitter, John James. Trump just retweeted an account dropped by QAnon whose name is Save the Littles. Their cover photo is of the 2 children from an interview here on YouTube, talking about secret pedo and human sacrifice rings being exposed. Oh yes, Papa Kills Babies. Secret UK pedophile ring is being exposed. Oh. Alright guys, now these 2 poor little kids are from England, and without looking into it too quick, like I said, it's about 12:30 right now. These 2 kids have a father that is a complete monster, but he's an elite, well-connected person. These 2 kids in this interview literally say, I didn't want to kill the baby, and I didn't know how, but Daddy helped me. Oh, how did he do that? Well, he held the knife in my hand, and he pushed it through the baby, and then they kept doing it more and more. So they had kids that were a year or 2 younger than this right here, literally killing babies. So you wonder how these sociopaths are bred. And that's how they're brought into a life of this absolute insanity that I couldn't even fathom. It really, really makes me sick and breaks my heart to see 2 beautiful children like this are subjected to something like that. And that wasn't the only thing this guy was doing, right? So if he was doing things like that, what else was he doing to these kids? And then the wife had brought him up in court, and because he's so well connected, he ends up getting friggin' custody. Changed his last name. Sean from SGT did a great video on this, I want to say about 6 months ago. And he had a person on that was doing really in-depth digging on this case. And they later had come to find out that I think the father and these kids won some sort of an award on eBay, and they're all like grown up in their, in their late teens, I want to say, maybe 16, 17, and you can tell they're just so sad. They have this blank look. Remember, this guy had them killing babies, right? The mother tried to get them away from this guy who's a monster, obviously, and yet he won the custody back. Such a pathetic world that we live in, that money and power can rule over such horrible things. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Alright guys, I'm going to edit this and get it out to you. My hope is to get it out tonight, which would be about 2 in the morning, if all goes well. I do appreciate you guys tuning in as usual. Once again, I apologize for the live stream audio issues. Those of you who were saying that the deep state was attacking your speakers or attacking your ears, making you deaf. That was some funny ones in there. And guys, I'm going to be working on a video tomorrow after work. Jason was a Gentile, Severanon, and Educating Libs all did a nice collaboration. Bree did all the wonderful graphics for the video, and I'm just going to throw them all together to the music, and we should be playing a premiere on Red Pill 78's live stream Saturday night. So I welcome you guys all to make sure you pop into that live stream. Should be a good one. I will definitely be down in the comment section saying hello to all. But that is all for tonight, guys. Going to edit this and get it out to you as soon as possible. My aim is to maybe get this out by 2 in the morning, early Friday morning here. All right, appreciate you tuning in, and until the next one, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Peace!